Hernando De Soto and the discovery of the Mississippi River. Welcome, esteemed scholars and enthusiasts of early modern exploration. Today, we embark on an in-depth examination of one of history's pivotal figures, Hernando De Soto. His expeditions during the Age of Exploration not only reshaped European perceptions of the New World but also had profound implications for the indigenous societies of North America. In this presentation, we shall dissect De Soto's ambitious journey, analyze the complexities of his interactions with native populations, and assess the enduring impact of his discovery of the Mississippi River. Hernando de Soto was born around 1500 in the province of Extremadura, Spain, a region that produced notable explorers like Francisco Pizarro and Pedro de Alvarado. Despite his noble lineage, de Soto's family was of modest means. This contrast between noble birth and economic hardship instilled in him a drive to achieve wealth and status. From a young age, De Soto demonstrated exceptional aptitude in physical disciplines. His mastery of horsemanship and fencing set him apart, skills that would later prove invaluable in military engagements. Educated under the mentorship of Pedro Arias Doivilla, he was exposed to humanist ideals and the tactical doctrines of contemporary warfare. In 1514, De Soto joined Pedro Arias Doivilla's expedition to the West Indies, marking his entry into the New World's theatre of conquest. His early roles involved exploration and pacification missions in Panama and Nicaragua, where he gained a reputation for courage and strategic acumen. De Soto's prominence surged during his partnership with Francisco Pizarro in the conquest of the Inca Empire between 1532 and 1533. Acting as a principal lieutenant, he was instrumental in the capture of Atahualpa at Cajamarca. The vast riches obtained from ransoming the emperor, amounting to over 13,000 pounds of gold and 26,000 pounds of silver, transformed De Soto into one of Spain's wealthiest conquistadors. His personal share exceeded 100,000 ducats, a fortune that secured his financial independence upon his return to Spain in 1536. Despite considerable wealth, De Soto's aspirations extended beyond material gain. The mysterious lands of La Florida promised not only riches but also the opportunity to establish a legacy akin to Cortés and Pizarro. In 1537, he petitioned King Charles V for the right to conquer and govern Florida. Granted the titles of Adelantado of Florida and Governor of Cuba, De Soto was authorized to explore and settle the region at his own expense, a venture requiring significant capital. He assembled an expedition comprising 9 vessels, over 600 men, including seasoned soldiers and noblemen, and extensive supplies. The fleet, laden with weaponry, livestock, and provisions, exemplified the logistical sophistication of 16th-century maritime expeditions. Departing Sanlucar de Barrameda in April 1538, De Soto's fleet arrived in Cuba to prepare for the Florida endeavor. Delegating the governance of Cuba to his wife, Isabel de Bobadilla, the first female governor in the New World, he finalized preparations. On May 30, 1539, De Soto's expedition landed on the western coast of the Florida Peninsula, near present-day Bradenton. The initial stages involved establishing a base and gathering intelligence on the interior lands. The discovery of Juan Ortiz, a Spaniard who had survived among the natives since the failed Navarre expedition of 1528, proved fortuitous. Ortiz's fluency in local dialects and understanding of indigenous customs were instrumental in mediating subsequent interactions. De Soto's strategies reflected the conquistador paradigm: assert dominance, extract resources, and co-opt local leaders. His practice of seizing indigenous chiefs as hostages to secure provisions and guides often incited hostility. One notable encounter occurred with the Lady of Cofitachequi in present-day South Carolina. She welcomed the Spaniards with gifts, including freshwater pearls and food supplies. Despite this hospitality, De Soto detained her, aiming to leverage her influence over regional tribes. Her eventual escape eroded trust and exacerbated resistance among the natives. The Spaniards' imposition of encomienda-like demands, forced labor and tribute, alienated many tribes. Reports indicate that De Soto's expedition took thousands of natives as porters, severely disrupting local communities. These actions contributed to escalating conflicts as the expedition advanced. In October 1540, De Soto arrived at Mobila, a fortified town governed by Chief Tuscaloosa. Standing over 7 feet tall, Tuscaloosa epitomized the formidable leadership among the Mississippian chiefdoms. Negotiations with Tuscaloosa were fraught, as he resisted De Soto's demands for provisions and porters. Invited into Mobila under the guise of hospitality, the Spaniards found themselves ambushed by thousands of warriors concealed within the palisaded town. The Battle of Mabila was fierce and costly. Spanish forces, though technologically superior with steel weapons and armor, suffered significant casualties. Contemporary accounts suggest that virtually all 2,500 inhabitants of Mabila perished, a figure highlighting the battle's severity. The Spaniards lost vital supplies, including medical equipment and accumulated treasures. Strategically, the battle marked a turning point, exposing the vulnerabilities of De Soto's forces in hostile territory. Undeterred by the setbacks at Mabila, De Soto pressed onward, driven by unyielding ambition. The expedition traversed the Tombigbee River basin and entered the Mississippi Delta region. Supply lines were stretched thin, and traditional foraging was impeded by indigenous tactics of resource denial. The Spaniards faced constant skirmishes, and the cumulative stress of the arduous journey eroded cohesion within the ranks. De Soto's insistence on finding mythical cities of gold strained his relationship with subordinates, many of whom advocated for a return to friendly ports. In late April 1541, the expedition reached the Mississippi River near present-day Mississippi. The sheer scale of the river was unprecedented in European experience. Chroniclers described it as vaster than any river seen before, with powerful currents and diverse ecosystems along its banks. Crossing the Mississippi was a logistical feat. Over nearly a month, the Spaniards constructed barges from available timber, using nails and equipment salvaged from the dwindling supplies. The operation was conducted under the constant threat of attack from skilled indigenous archers proficient in riverine warfare. Successful crossing in June 1541 opened new territories but also introduced the expedition to more formidable challenges. West of the Mississippi, De Soto ventured into regions corresponding to modern Arkansas, encountering the complex societies of the Plains and the Ozark Plateau. The expedition documented interactions with the Casqui and Pacahar chiefdoms, noting sophisticated agricultural practices and social organization. However, the anticipated wealth remained elusive. The environmental conditions grew harsher, with extremes in weather and unfamiliar landscapes. The winter of 1541 to 1542, spent along the Arkansas River, was marked by scarcity and illness. The death of Juan Ortiz further impaired communication, isolating the Spaniards culturally and strategically. By the spring of 1542, De Soto's health was in decline. Sources suggest he suffered from a fever, possibly due to infectious disease exacerbated by exhaustion and malnutrition. On May 21, 1542, Hernando De Soto died near the village of Guachoya, close to the Mississippi's western bank. To maintain authority and prevent native unrest, his death was kept secret. The Spaniards reported to the indigenous people that De Soto had ascended to the heavens, consistent with earlier claims of his divinity. His body was submerged in the Mississippi River under cover of darkness, weighted to prevent its discovery. Leadership transitioned to Luis de Moscoso Alvarado, who faced the monumental task of extricating the expedition from the depths of the continent. Moscoso considered an overland route to New Spain, Mexico, but after arduous travel and hostile encounters, he redirected the expedition back to the Mississippi. Constructing 7 brigantines over several months, the Spaniards prepared for a riverine escape. In July 1543, approximately 320 survivors began the perilous journey down the Mississippi River. Enduring constant attacks and navigating treacherous waters, they reached the Gulf of Mexico. Hugging the coastline, they ultimately arrived at the Spanish settlement of Pornico in September 1543. De Soto's expedition failed to establish colonies or find the riches he sought. However, it provided valuable cartographic and ethnographic information about the southeastern United States. The detailed accounts of the journey enhanced European understanding of the continent's interior, influencing future explorations. The expedition's impact on indigenous populations was profound. Diseases introduced by the Spaniards decimated communities, and the disruptions to societal structures had long-term consequences. The legacy of De Soto's journey is thus dual-faceted, a testament to exploration's boldness and a sobering reminder of its ramifications. Through meticulous analysis of Hernando De Soto's expedition, we observe a narrative of ambition, resilience, and unintended consequences. His discovery of the Mississippi River stands as a significant milestone in the annals of exploration, symbolizing the expansive reach of European endeavors. Yet, this achievement is shadowed by the devastation wrought upon indigenous societies, a consequence that necessitates critical reflection. De Soto's journey encapsulates the complexities of the age of exploration, a period marked by extraordinary human feats and profound ethical dilemmas. As historians and critical thinkers, we are compelled to examine these narratives holistically, acknowledging both the advancements in geographic and cultural knowledge and the irreversible impacts on native populations. De Soto's legacy invites us to contemplate the intricate interplay between discovery and responsibility. We extend our appreciation for your engagement in this scholarly exploration of Hernando de Soto's legacy. This presentation is grounded in primary sources such as the Relación of the Gentleman of Elvas and Garcilaso de la Vegas, La Florida del Inca, as well as contemporary analyses by historians including Charles Hudson and Patricia Galloway. For further study, consider consulting Hernando de Soto, A Savage Quest in the Americas by David Ewing Duncan and Knights of Spain, Warriors of the Sun by Charles Hudson. Thank you for your dedication to historical inquiry. We invite you to subscribe for more in-depth content and to contribute to the discourse through your insightful comments.